Hello, welcome to this webinar session. Seagate is marking 45 years in business of design and manufacturing storage solutions from HDD, hard disk, SSD, NAS boxes, and other large storage systems for enterprise data storage. It serves across all market segments, OEMs, big techs to small retail consumers. Seagate has been focused on enabling efficient mass capacity data storage with the hard drives, excellent performance. Recently, we announced the 24 terabyte drive, and by 2025, we could get around 30 terabyte in a single HDD unit. Seagate has various R&D centers, several manufacturing operations, contract manufacturers, design partners, warranty partners, and suppliers. Our manufacturing includes silicon, wafer, magnetic media processing, component assemblies. There were many mergers and acquisitions over years like Xeratech, Dot Hill. With the demand for storage ever increasing, there is all-time high data creation. This HDD business, the disk drive storage, is not going away. In this presentation, we will discuss Seagate's business process transformation with Windchill PLM application. Seagate had a situation to replace and consolidate 3 aging legacy PLM solutions and eliminate all the related IT security risk and bring in the new technology. So we scope to align all the stakeholders to transform the key business processes to achieve maximum productivity at each lifecycle phase, as well as ensuring scalability for future business needs. This way, we ensure this transformation is just not IT-driven project to just replace one PLM solution with another. Rather, we want this to be a total PLM transformation. For any company, there are 4 integral systems and tools for the product development and manufacturing, internal audit and quality. There are the parts, BOMs, change management, documentation, with work instructions, procedures, spec documents, drawings, and so on. So this we have to manage all the way from the single component level to the sub-assemblies to the finished products, or the sellable products, to all the toolings and the test equipments that go in for the manufacturing, as well that helps the manufacturing operations. To maximize the production means to less and reduce the errors. So we need to have a solution that is user-centric with streamlined processes for speed and efficiency, improved quality, integrity of data, less reliance on human interactions, and fast, efficient decision making. I encourage companies that plan to change their PLM solution to revisit or re-engineer their business processes along with upgrading the PLM technology. So this ensures highest ROI end to end. With a comprehensive team from the business and IT in place, with the decision that the business will lead and IT will enable the solution, following were the challenges that we had to face. There were over 7,000 active users worldwide. There were 30 million records to migrate that included part, BOM, engineering changes, documents. There are many upstream and downstream interfaces to be connected that would help multiple business units, functional groups, that will connect all the design centers, product line and factory operations, and lastly, external suppliers, contract manufacturers, and original device manufacturers. So we set up the core team that would connect with all the other leads from different functional groups, and they will work with different business units. So the functional groups are electrical, mechanical, firmware, software, so on. And we have the various business units like silicon, head, magnetic media, the hard disk manufacturing, SSD manufacturing, contract manufacturers, the internal tooling departments, consumers, consumer business unit, and storage, system storage business groups. So these were the different challenges what we were present with. Here are the enterprise interfaces that we have to develop with Windchill PTC. For collecting the customer critical attributes and label attributes from the marketing team, we established a workflow along with the engineering change management process to get these attribute values, process them together with the BOM release process, and have that sent across to the factory systems downstream. Next is with the engineering systems like ECAD, MCAD, firmware, software, test and config process. We not only develop the interface, we also set up the change management flow in Windchill. So there is an integration of the data coming in from those systems, getting processed in Windchill along with the metadata and getting released to the respective downstream systems. Thirdly, we have the ERP system. This is a very standard approach that we take across, just like any other company. We have the PBOM and MBOM for all the sales and supply management and inventory management. Next, with the EDW, Enterprise Data Warehouse, we push a lot of data to this system for decision-making matrices. With the quality teams and the systems, we did multiple things like the failure analysis and the first article inspection related application interfaces. With the QMS procedures and policies, we set up a dashboard for them to ensure that they have a very clear view of all the policies and procedures. For the EHS and material safety team, we provided exclusive interfaces. Same thing with the ITA team, the International Trade Administration. We give them the product item information along with the change details. With respect to the suppliers and the contract manufacturers, we provided them the equipment design outsourcing using the Windchill project management module. So that way these suppliers can get inside Windchill platform in a safe way and get the access to the data that they really need to do. Next, with the CAS, the compliance assurance system, we had an active interface to get the compliance stewardship status that will be used by the manufacturing teams as well by the product development teams. Lastly, on the factories, MES, or the manufacturing execution systems, we had active interfaces that combine the data from various sources and give very specific information to the factories so that they can continue their manufacturing. This included the effectivity management, BOM, attributes, and so on. Last but not least, we also had an interface with the HR system to know the employee information and so on. Everyone wants to achieve cost saving, time to market, fast return on investment, high productivity. But the real deal is how fast the engineering team can process the data, how quickly the decisions can be made, how simplified are our processes to achieve these, and we reduce the errors in the process, how well the data is integrated, and we avoid duplication. To maximize the ability to design and deliver innovative products and services through the PLM application and the business process transformation, here are the important things what we need to do. So we need to capture the requirements from every knowledge source at a very early phase of the program in a proactive manner. So we have to work collaboratively with the design centers, R&D centers, and the factories. So we get this information, use this in an intuitive, fast way so that we reduce the barriers of interaction. We know exactly what is the requirement to be developed in the application. So with this very clear approach, we know what has to be developed in these applications with different interfaces, with the data model, with the business model, and the standardizations. With that in approach, we do a bottom-up navigation on how we achieve the overall business results of low cost, time to market, and customer satisfaction. So we made sure that the requirements are very clear, are very well understood by all the business units when it came to the interfaces, automation, and models, and the related simplified business processes. We eliminated all the complexities there. And then what are the commonality and the standard models that has to be applied for part cataloging, BOMs, AMLs, and so on. With this, we moved up in the value chain that provides us improvement in the cycle time, the turnaround time, or the task completion rate, a reduction in the errors or reworks. Time to find information is faster, decision making is faster, and with that we achieve the overall performance, quality of work, improved features, productivity improvement, efficiency improvement, and scalability. So with this, we do more with less, fast and easy access to data in a collaborative manner, and we measure this and monitor the success at every phase. With the Seagate implementation method in place, we identify with certain key users identified early, with all the upfront time spent on gathering all the requirements. We adopted the agile sprint-based development. So we had the requirements clearly defined as a blueprint that we need, and we conducted design workshops to make sure that what are the key deliverables that are needed and what should come first, what can be done later. So we planned those at the blueprint, and these were made along with the key data points or the data migration requirements, validations that we would do at each point. So along with the blueprint of the requirements, we made sure that these were needed at different point of time. Once the blueprint was ready and the design workshop outcomes were clear, then the IT team took those requirements and started doing their detailed design. So there were multiple sprints that were identified where each components of the entire PLM will be delivered to the key users for their testing. So there will be early exposure of what the development team is doing and how the requirements has been functionally implemented in the Windchill system. They'll be trained, and the training will happen together at the end of that particular sprint development process. Immediately the UAT by the key users will start. So this is an iterative process where we would build, test, and quickly pilot it. So there will be a quick user input to the design team. If there are bugs, they will go fix it. So with this iterative process, we finally combined everything together for the rollout, and finally we did the big mass go live after the sign off by the key users. More than technology to get there, this work is a combination of data models, interfaces, processes, system features focused on simplification, more automation, reduced intervention rate, remove duplicates, unnecessary steps, and commonality with good data flows. So these were the business process leads and with the technology to follow approach that we took to do this. So here are the major process improvements that we did. Processes like MCAD, ECAD integration This was an improvement in the interface area. Next was the firmware test process release with all the business segments. So this was a combination of interface and the process development. So the business process was improved as well, the interface was improved. Next is the single part catalog for all business segments. So this was a big improvement across the data model. Same way in the other data model areas, like we improved significantly on the AML, manufacturing part number conventions for all business units. So we did a big standardization on the BOM, how we set up the BOMs for different business units, how the different design centers will have the BOM structured, so on. So this was an improvement on the process side. Next is on the automation with the tool. We improved on the where used reporting mechanism. Next is on end-to-end data management and tracking. This is a combination of many things, like from the interface, process, and so on. Last but not least, this factory-specific effectivity, deviation. These are big topics on the interface and process improvement. So we did a lot of streamlining, eliminated unnecessary old processes, old steps in the processes, and simplified it, as well improved the system side as well. And on the PDM document management, this is more on the content management, how we keep the documents relevant, up to date, intact, with the owner of the document always kept active. Like if somebody leaves the company, we immediately initiate the process to find the new owner, so on. And lastly, overall product engineering process efficiency improvement. So these were all the key areas where we focused. So with this, we established a digital thread, a connection of related upstream and downstream product and process information in the Windchill system. So this creates the continuity and accessibility of product data across the enterprise. So there is a clear traceability of who did what change, when the change was done, and why it was done, who approved it, and so on. So this enables us to execute processes across organization through this connectivity. For example, we have the requirements gathered, and these requirements get converted to the design data, and they form the EBOM and MBOM for representing the product. Overall, with that, we can have the training requirements developed, tools and necessary product controls that are needed. If there is necessary for the manufacturing work instructions to be developed, that can be used. It can be also used for the future ready augmented reality experiences if they want to have the walk into the factory and so on. And lastly, the assembly instructions that are needed for the factory teams to do the necessary work. So with this, we have a clear thread of the entire connection of what is happening between the upstream and the downstream. Overall, PTC Windchill transformational elements are as follows. Like we were able to consolidate 3 different legacy systems into one PTC Windchill solution, which is on-premise solution with higher standard data protection for the Seagate intellectual property. We have established data integrity and integration with a single source of truth, improved interfaces with all the different engineering applications and factory systems. We had established a standardized and simplified processes, improved productivity and efficiency, great increase in user experience, and this solution is scalable, adaptable to the future expansions, and overall, this is highly cost effective. With this, I conclude my presentation. I thank the PTC team for giving me this opportunity to share my experience, and I thank all the webinar participants for your valuable time. Please let me know your questions.